friends, it is Unicorn Princess here, and if my hair looks like it hasn't been brushed, that's because it hasn't. I'm trying a thing. I'm just letting my hair do whatever my hair does. So I've been kind of maybe overly negative recently with my content, like I've been posting things where I complain and I rant, and I enjoy doing that, and I have a lot about life that I'm mad about and a lot about the state of the world that angers me greatly, but I don't want my channel just to be that. I don't want it all to be ranting and being mad and blah 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 blah. I have always been the advice person, and you know, I tend to be kind of happy and bubbly and positive about things, and although my life has been full of, can't think of the right word for it, let's just say difficulty, and I am not the chirpy, smiley, happy-go-lucky person that I was when I was a child. I still mostly am that person. So I figured today I would do some positive, happy advice, life lesson style stuff. So today we're going to look at 10 things that I wish I knew as a teenager. I have notes and I am going to look at them because I will just warble on for days if I don't have them. Trends die. I know that seems really obvious, but when I was a teenager and in high school, I used to love wearing these cat hats, and I had a hoodie as well that had cat ears on it, and I wore them all the time, every day, and I used to get bullied so much for wearing them. And then like a year, maybe two, after I left school, animal ear hats were the in thing, and I walked past that high school and everybody was doing it and I was so mad. But the point is, it seems really important when you're young to make sure that you're doing what everybody else is doing, but it turns out that what's actually cool is not doing what they're doing. So don't follow the trends. Don't feel a need to follow the trends, because they will change and you can't keep up. Your mum knows stuff. I'm saying mum, but I really mean like parent, guardian, that older person in your life that looks after you and gives you advice and stuff that you may have. When your mum knows that the guy you're dating is bad news, that's because she was your age and she dated those guys, or at least she knew people who dated those guys, and the red flags are all there. You can't see them because this is new to you, but she's seen it a million times already and she's trying to tell you without telling you what to do. That's bad news and it's going to end in tears, by the way. I'm not saying don't do what you want. I'm just saying you should consider that what the older person in your life is telling you might have some merit because they have lived this area of your life already and probably done all of those things and paid for it with their feelings. My mum knew that the guy I was dating was an asshole and I didn't listen. Just because you're not that beauty doesn't mean you're not a beauty. This actually kind of only hit me like recently, super recently. I was never popular as a teenager. I didn't know what to do with my looks at all, and I used to go into school every morning with my makeup done the way everybody else did it. I used to straighten my hair like crazy because they used to make fun of me for my curls. But now my curls and my crazy hair are one of the things that people compliment me for often. And I had this crazy realization. I saw it in something and it just clicked in my brain. I love all of these little petite girls with their tiny little narrow noses and their big eyes and their tiny little chins, and you know, little pixie girls that I love, that I follow all of them on Instagram, and I would be so concerned that my nose bridge is too wide to be cute and my chin is too long for me to have a cute face, and yada 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 yada. And I saw something and it was just like, yeah, but just because you're not that kind of cute doesn't mean that you're not cute. Maybe you're a different kind of cute, or maybe because you're not that specific type of attractive doesn't mean you're not attractive. just in a different way or to a different group of people. You'll always be good looking to somebody. So don't try changing yourself and getting all upset that you don't have like Kim Kardashian's ass. Is that what we like about Kim Kardashian? I honestly don't know, I'm really outside the loop. But like your own unique qualities, because there's gonna be people and places where that's the thing that they like, and if you get rid of it then you won't have it anymore, and you had it naturally, and that would be stupid. I used to be really upset about the fact that I'm not tall enough to like model in high fashion or anything, for example, but in Japanese fashion my height is actually pretty good. I'm still on the short side, but it's short, petite is a good thing. So yeah, just because you're not that beauty that exists and is already established does not mean you're not a beauty. Not doing the things that a boy wants you to do does not make you frigid. Maybe this is stepping a bit into the deadly serious area of discussion, but when I was in high school and once I'd left high school, I was still friends with a lot of the young people there, and I heard the 12-year-olds talking about all these things that they were gonna do with the boys. Really adult things that they were gonna do with the boys, and when I asked them about it they were like, yeah, basically that's what's expected, and if you don't then you're no fun. I'm not saying that all boys do this, because they don't. I was friends with the boys that were not like that, and young boys, a lot of them don't know what they're asking for and they don't really understand the implications, and that's society's fault. We need to teach that properly. But girls, you don't have to do the sexy things at a young age. Do not feel pressure to do the sexy things at a young age, because that stuff's yours. Your body is yours. It does not belong to them, and it's not them that's gonna lose anything. You know, if you agree, it's gonna be you. So let them call you frigid. That is not what they will call you a few years from now. Not that it matters what anybody thinks, but don't let them coerce you into doing the things. You don't have to. Don't do it. It's stupid. Don't be embarrassed about the things that you love. When I was young, my sister and her group were really into My Chemical Romance, but they weren't allowed to talk about how much they liked My Chemical Romance, or at least if they did, there was a lot of people that would attack them for it, because My Chemical Romance were not a cool thing to like when I was in school. Maybe because my age group was the older group, they were just like, pfft. When I was young I loved cute stuff even then, but I used to fight against it so much. Like I have known for years that baby pink was my favourite colour, but when I was in high school, black was my favourite colour. Not because it really was, but because that was the acceptable favourite colour to have. And I didn't want to fall into that, you know, blonde girl pink stereotype, and I tried to avoid it so intensely that I just picked the opposite of all of those things, and that's so stupid. Because you like what you like, and there is nothing wrong with liking what you like. Just enjoy your stuff. Because when you're out of high school and stuff, nobody cares what you like, and you will make friends based on the interests that you share. So don't like the fake things about you, like the real things about you. Bullies are often the people that are bullied, just perhaps not at school. This is something that I knew even when I was in high school, and I don't know if this makes life easier or harder. It's just something that stands out in my mind. The people that picked on me the most in school, that were the most violent or the most nasty, came from really, really horrible home settings. Either it was like they had horrible parents, or like there was abuse at home or something, or they'd gone through terrible stuff like tragic loss of a parent at a young age or something like that, or they came from like poverty-stricken areas and people would make fun of them for it when they were young, so they became bullies when they were older. I'm not saying that it's okay for them to bully you, I'm just saying that empathetically you should feel bad for them, because they have kind of no escape from this life and they shouldn't be bullying. They shouldn't be doing it. But bullying is often an indication that they come from a bad place. Some bad stuff is going down in their life, and that's kind of super sad. And the mean things that bullies say are most often deflections. And this doesn't just go for high school, this is like an adult world things as well. The people that are awful to you or that have suddenly become awful to you are projecting onto you. You know, the things that they're saying about you are not necessarily true at all. It's just maybe it's something that's true about them and they don't want it to be, so they're making it all about you. So bullies are often big victims, real ones. It's sad. People smell fear, especially young people and teenagers. When you are afraid or nervous or, you know, all of those anxious feelings, other young people know, and that makes you a target. And that sounds awful, but it's true. So the best thing that you can do in a setting where you're surrounded by young people is appear completely fearless. Even if you're not, you gotta stand tall and proud and take nothing from nobody. Oh my god, cat. What? What? It's like Animal Kingdom. You've got to present yourself in a way that makes you look fearless and like you do everything your own way. It might take a little bit of time, but eventually they will back off from you because you now appear threatening. This is still an adult world thing as well. When you're a nervous or timid person and you go into a new office, all of the people there that are likely to push you about will go straight for you because you're emitting timid in your vibes, your stance. So you gotta march into places and be firm and secure, and even if it's not true, fake it till you make it. Don't put yourself in a box. I hate the whole labeling thing. Sometimes it's necessary, and I agree that it can on occasion be helpful, but especially when you're super young, the things that you title yourself with may not be true in a year or 2 or 4, and the fact of the matter is that we change constantly. So you might think that, you know, you're super into just metal right now and you will never like anything else, but that might change in a few years. I was the opposite. When I was young, I liked kind of rocky music, but I hated screamo. Hated it. And then I went through some stuff and it really started to appeal to me. So years later, screamo became my main thing. It's completely the opposite from what I was when I was younger. And now I'm different again because I like a whole bunch of other things as well. So, you know, don't be so eager and quick to put yourself inside so many boxes and so many labels, because they will change and it's not necessary. Be honest about your feelings. I've always found this one really hard. It's gotten easier with time, but the more honest and direct you are with people, the easier your life will be. And I don't mean easy like things won't be hard, but your life will be much better. If someone, for example, has been your friend and has been hurting your feelings and you don't say anything, that can last a really long time and become a really toxic relationship. But if you tell them straight away, what you're doing kind of makes me feel shitty, let's have a conversation about it and maybe you can work something out. Or maybe they'll just be horribly offended and leave. And that sucks. But you don't need that kind of person in your life, and now you know sooner rather than later, which is a good thing. It is not weak to talk about how you feel about stuff, to go to your parents or your friends and say, hey, this makes me feel like that. But being a perpetual victim is a bad thing. If everything in life somehow isn't your fault and everything else is everybody else's responsibility and it's all poor me all of the time, then you're being a victim, a perpetual victim, and that will do you no good in life. So be honest about your feelings, but also acknowledge your part and stuff. There's a cat here now. See? What was that? Happiness is a state of mind, which sounds kind of obvious and kind of not. It's a little hard to explain. When I was in uni, I used to get so stressed about getting stuff done on time and getting it done right that I would get anxious and anxious and anxious and stress and stress and stress until it would pile up crazy high, and then I would make myself sick, like I'd be physically ill for days or even like a week or two from becoming overstressed. And then I realized that it did me no good to get stressed like that. It actually serves no purpose at all. So I kind of don't know how I did it. I'm not sure. I put in like a ceiling in my brain where I would get stressed up to this point, hit this point, and then it would just shatter, and I'd be like, you know what, I don't care. I don't care about it. Happiness is kind of like that. You can focus on how unhappy things make you, and that will be everything you see. And I know this from experience. I've been doing it recently. Or you could focus on the things that do make you happy, or the things that you have to look forward to, and then that will become everything you see. So you can be happy even when there are things in life that make you unhappy, and you can make yourself so much more miserable by only focusing on the things that make you miserable. So some levels of unhappiness are about focus. You're focusing the wrong way on the wrong things. And sometimes it kind of leads you to the solution as well. If you're unhappy because of something in a relationship, for example, and you're not being honest with them or being honest with yourself, then it will go on and on and on and on. If you're honest with them and you're honest with yourself and it turns out the relationship isn't making you happy anymore, then moving on is probably the best option. But you won't know if you're just focusing on how unhappy you are. It doesn't do you any good. You gotta do something with it. Can you not stand on my laptop? Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the cameo from the cat. Oh yeah, I still have cute pom-poms and stuff left from Decon. I put a thing in my Patreon for them, so if you would like your own cute pom-pommy keychains, they are in my Patreon in the description in the links, so check them out. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that jazz, and I will see you guys next time. Hello.